Hello and welcome once again to Crazy Comics and Stories. It's me, your charming and delightful old Uncle Rat Bastard, and this is a very special show. It's very special for two reasons. One, Joe is not here. So instead, we have another fill-in host. That's right, Dangerous Dan Mohr. How you doing tonight, Dan?
I'm doing wonderful. However, I have to ask you, why in the world are we doing this type of show? I know you're about and I haven't announced it yet, but why are we doing this? I mean, there's no real good reason to do it. You're just taking an idea from somebody else and we're doing stupid things and just complaining.
Well, Festivus is my favorite holiday. It's a tradition on the show, and we're going to have Frank Costanza explain the origin of Festivus.
Many Christmases ago, I went to buy a doll for my son. I reached for the last one they had, but so did another man. As I rained blows upon him, I realized there had to be another way.
What happened to the doll?
It was destroyed. But out of that, a new holiday was born. A Festivus for the rest of us.
Well, that must have been some kind of doll.
She was. And at the Festivus dinner, you gather your family around and tell them all the ways they have disappointed you over the past year.
And is there a tree?
No, instead there's a pole. Requires no decoration. I find tinsel distracting.
Frank, this new holiday of yours is scratching me right where I itch.
Let's do it then.
All right.
Festivus is back! I'll get the pole out of the crawl's face.
Well, happy Festivus.
What is that? Is that the pole?
George, Festivus is your heritage. It's part of who you are.
That's why I hate it.
Look, it's a big dinner Tuesday night at Frank's house. Everyone's invited.
George, you're forgetting how much Festivus has meant to us all. I brought one of the cassette tapes. Read that poem.
I can't read it. I need my glasses.
You don't need glasses. You're just weak. You're weak.
Leave him alone!
All right, George. It's time for the Festivus Feats of Strength.
Turn it off! No feats of strength! I Festivus!
We had some good times.
Well, sir, I gave out the fake card because, I don't really celebrate Christmas. I celebrate Festivus. Festivus, sir. And, I was afraid that I would be persecuted for my beliefs. They drove my family out of Bayside, sir.
You making all this up, too?
Oh, no, sir. Festivus is all too real, and I could prove it if I have to.
Yeah, you probably should.
The tradition of Festivus begins with the airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people. Now, you're gonna hear about it. You, Kroger, my son tells me your company stinks.
Oh, God.
Quiet, you'll get yours in a minute. Kroger, you couldn't smooth a silk sheet if you had a hot date with a babe. I lost my train of thought. And now, as Festivus rolls on, we come to the feats of strength.
Not the feats of strength.
Until you pin me, George, Festivus is not over.
Oh, please, someone stop this.
Let's rumble!
I think you can take him, Georgie.
Hey, come on, be sensible.
Stop crying and fight your father.
Ow! Oh, I got
This is the best Festivus ever!
And that means that now we begin. We've only missed this 1 year when I was in the hospital. We've only missed this 1 year. It's the
I don't understand. This is just a stupid idea. I don't know why we're doing it. I mean, we do this all the time. Yeah, we missed that one time. It was the best year of my life when I didn't have to do that for this stupid show.
No. We've got a recording of Joe complaining about Festivus. You don't need to do that.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
Oh, for the love of Pete. I'm recuperating here. Why the hell do I got to do a Festivus bullshit anyways? I suppose it's all for part of the cause. In all seriousness, I am just not in the Festivus mood, and it's not because of my normal anti-Festivus feeling. I spent the better part of the year dealing with health issues, as you know, as the listeners of the show know. If it wasn't going to the hospital because of having allergic reactions, pretty much from June forward, I was dealing with the hip, which seems to be doing okay for the most part. But really, this for me was the summer that wasn't, because I spent most of my time at home unable to move, unable to sit, unable to stand, unable to lay down, in a pain on a scale of 1 to 10 at borderline 15. I am not suicidal, but I seriously understand people who have that type of pain in their life, be it mental or physical, wanting a way out. For me, it was fast. It was ongoing. You know, people for the most part that get hip replacements, like, oh, I can't believe I waited so long. And really, I didn't, because it was just a gradual thing. Everything was like, okay, my hip hurts. Go to the chiropractor in the week. It still hurts. Okay, well, go to the doctor in a week. Okay, they give me meds. It's not helping. Okay, well, we'll give you these drugs. You know, so everything was another week. And even at the end of July, when I finally was on the schedule to get my hip replaced, it was like, okay, we'll do it in November. So it was always just one thing after another. I kind of laughed it off, but really the worst part about it was just all the time wasted. I mean, I'm 53. When I get morbid, I look forward and say, you know, I'm lucky I'll get to be about 70, 80. I don't have that many summers left, and to actually sit on my ass all summer in pain, yeah, it pissed me off. So really, I don't have any griefs with you people, because I think you're all good, you're fabulous, and other than that, I don't have much to really bitch about at Festivus. I'm happy I got my hip, I'm happy the pain's gone, and I'm happy Cory is continuing on without me. No, actually, that's what's pissing me off. The fact that Cory doesn't even have the decency to shut the show down on hiatus while I'm sitting here trying to heal. That's my Festivus grief. Now, bugger off. I've got some more oxycodone to take.
Okay, I'm back then.
We'll just put it right here. And that means it is time for the airing of grievances. These are the things that have annoyed me, bothered me, and generally pissed me off this year. I got a lot of problems with you people. And now you're going to hear about it. Dan, do you have your list of things? Your list of grievances?
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to go first, or should I? I mean, you're the guest host.
I know, and you know what? Fine, I'll go first, and I'll tell you why. Because this is my first grievance. I'm getting sick and tired of you always saying that I have to go first, just because I'm the guest, and because you are supposed to be trying to be polite to your guests. That just doesn't work for me, because you know why? I usually react to what you do. So I have to sit here and try to come up with my own ideas, which I can't do. We all know this. You're the one that's the clever one in this, even though you won't say it.
What?
Yeah. So I'm sitting here and I have to try to figure out something to say, and I don't know what the hell to say. But no, you fucking rat bastard, make me go first. I have every single time. So you know what? I'm not going to go first this time. Oh shit.
I'm the clever one?
Oh. Yeah, I hate to admit it, but yeah.
Oh Lord, we're in trouble. I got an IQ of 65.
I didn't say you were smart. I said you were clever.
Oh, okay.
I've met your exes. No, I know you're not smart.
Well, you have to say that I'm smart that I got away from them. Right?
Hold on, I'm doing the math.
While you're doing the math, my first grievance.
Okay.
Earlier this year, I discovered a comic that was a fantasy comic. Kind of a sword and sorcery comic that I really loved. It was clever. It was well drawn. The characters were interesting. They had a lot of stuff going on under the surface that would make it very cool to read. The world was very carefully constructed, and it was easy to tell that a lot of work had gone into it. This comic was called Scales and Scoundrels, and after 12 issues, it was canceled.
Why?
Poor sales.
Oh.
And, it's an Image, so it can go on as long as the creators are willing to, keep doing it. But they said that, by the 8th or 9th issue, they weren't making much money. So Scales and Scoundrels. There are 2 trade paperbacks that collect the whole thing. I highly recommend that you do so. Maybe if the trades sell, they'll bring it back, because they said in the last issue, oh, we're looking at ways to bring it back. Well, very upset.
Maybe Netflix will pick it up.
Oh, yeah, or Hulu.
Yeah.
Or Amazon, which had no problem picking up the Tick after it had been canceled for almost 20 years.
True enough.
Or Showtime, which picked up Twin Peaks after it had been gone for 25 years. But one of the genres that I wish there was more of in comics is sword and sorcery. We're probably going to get a minor boom with Conan coming back. Marvel's going to do 2 Conan series. But I always wondered why it never really caught on with the number of people who play Dungeons and Dragons.
Well, I think part of that is probably the fact that the people who play Dungeons and Dragons want to imagine their own worlds and them in it. So they're not necessarily, it doesn't translate to comics all that well.
When we played D&D back in high school and college, we were reading every fantasy novel we could get our hands on. Even the Chronicles of Thomas Covenant the Unbeliever. That's how desperate we were for fantasy.
Plus, at the same time, as you've said, almost every fantasy comic never seems to go anywhere. They always seem to cancel. Like Battle Chasers in the early 2000s. I really liked that series.
Well, that wasn't canceled due to poor sales. It was canceled because the artist, whenever a new Final Fantasy game came out,
yes, I'm aware of this.
When he was at Marvel, they literally would plan around a new Final Fantasy game's coming out, so we need to get a different artist for the X-Men for 3 months. And then he got a job working in video games and never looked back.
No. And I love video games, and I'm upset about that. But that's years ago. That one I'm not grieving about this year.
So what are you mad about this year?
Oh, let's see. This year I am mad that I still have. I have to wait for the second half of the Infinity War movie, because if they're going to come back and try to kill off my guy, I want to know right away instead of having to wait for a year just to watch him, lose. And he better not fucking lose, even though I know they're going to have him lose, and I don't want him to lose because he shouldn't lose, but he's going to lose because that's the way the comics work.
Well, and also because Thanos always puts the seeds of his own destruction in his plan.
Yes.
He's not well.
No. But, I do the same, so I like him.
Now,
so that's a simple... Huh?
Now, did you see the trailer come out this week?
Yes, I did. And I thought it was hilarious when I saw a lot of people, oh, that didn't reveal anything. And I mean, it only revealed the title that everybody had already guessed, and we knew that Tony Stark was gone. And I'm like, what are you talking? It was a teaser trailer. It's not supposed to reveal anything. That's what the movie does.
They don't need to say anything in this trailer. I honestly believe that if they just put out a trailer and all it was the Avengers logo for 2 minutes, people would say, that is the greatest trailer ever made.
The Avengers symbol with the Infinity Gems surrounding it. That would be the ultimate thing.
It doesn't need to be that much.
No, it doesn't.
Somebody asked if I'd saw it, and I said, why? I'm going to see it 1,000 times on TV. Every time I go to the movie theater, it's going to be shown. I don't need to go out of my way to see it. And, there it was. I'm scrolling on Facebook, and on my new big tablet, I haven't set it so that the videos don't start automatically because I'm an idiot.
Yes, you are.
And there's the trailer. Oh, look, Captain America found the razors. Good for him. He joined Dollar Shave Club.
Oh. Is that a sponsor of the show?
Why, yes, it is. I don't get to work him in all that often, but it's a special occasion. It's Festivus.
Yeah, I like that. I like being a master of segues.
Oh, but we're not doing the segue yet.
Oh, we're not?
No.
No.
No,
Okay.
now we're going to get into my next grievance.
Yes.
And that is the whole Batman getting married bait and switch over the summer. Here's the thing. I do not blame the creators at all.
Okay.
Because if you've read the comic and you know how Tom King has said, this is what, 100-issue story.
Uh-huh.
And it's set up for certain story beats to happen.
Okay.
And if you go back and you read, you can see all the threads that led to why they didn't get married. But I am mad at DC for putting out a special, wedding album thing, and for telling comic shops, we're going to ship these early, and here's all this stuff for you to have a big special event, and giving the information to the newspapers, and then 3 days before the comic drops. This is after they've got comic shops to set up special events and have all this special stuff for sale. On Sunday in the New York Times, they go, Batman will be left at the altar, and it's a special press release that DC did for the New York Times, basically spoiling the comic 3 days before it came out.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
DC, why don't you just go into the comic shop and stab everybody in the thigh? Because you basically, fans who were all excited about going and picking up the comic were now like, oh.
Yeah.
No,
Why bother?
Yeah, I'll just pick it up when I normally go in. I didn't hear about any of the midnight special things they did, but I would be shocked if a bunch of people showed up after that news story dropped.
Yeah. I if I remember correctly, there was slews of articles after that in the days following that about cancellations of the special events and things like that, and comic stores just pissed as all hell.
Yeah. Now, I don't mind if they do these special events and they end up being a bait and switch, because that's comics, okay?
Yeah.
Aunt May had heart attacks and was on the edge of death more often than I've had a quesadilla, and I fucking love quesadillas.
Well, yeah, but I love heart attacks, so you know.
But if they said, this is the issue, Aunt May dies, and they spend a lot of money and set up everything, and then at the end of the issue, she pops up out of the coffin at the visitation and went, "What's going on here?" We'd all be pissed. And before you say they did that, no, they didn't, because when they did Aunt May dying in issue 400, everybody involved said, that's it. That's the end. We're not using her again. It was they had a new editor-in-chief, new creative team, new editorial team, who said, we're bringing her back. Because we pretty much screwed up everything during the Clone Saga, and we got to figure out a way to save this.
The Clone Saga was amazing. I've never read a comic that had a greater story than... I can't even get through that. Okay. No.
We were asked a couple episodes where did certain comics jump the shark, and my thing was, they jumped the shark, but they jumped back. Oh, Spider-Man's Clone Saga was really jumping the shark.
Yeah. And I read that whole damn thing. Oh my God.
Well, I've gone and I've read, and you can read it online. There's this long blog called The Life of Riley, where they encapsulate the story and interview the creators who were working on it at the time. And, they had a plan at the beginning, but the marketing department made them stretch it out so long that they kind of moved on to other stuff. And the people who came in
had no idea what was going on.
Well, they didn't quite quite have an idea of where it was going, or they didn't agree with where it was going, or they were told by marketing to stretch it out. Oh, let's drop in a big, this saga in the middle of it and do this big 12-part story in the middle of it, and then we need this sales bump thing with the Scarlet Spider, so that by the end, no one involved at the beginning was involved at the end.
Jesus.
And they were all pretty much, shit, now what do we do? So, did Batman jump the shark with it? No. Story is still great. DC's marketing department, though, someone needs to kneecap them. Dan?
Well, one of the things that really is annoying the hell out of me is the reusing of old titles, even if it's a slight change in big events. For instance, Infinity Wars this year.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, they added an S, but okay. Where I'm going, Secret War was the same way. Okay. And the Secret War 2, or not 2, but Secret Wars 2016
No, what it was, the
or
first
whatever.
one was Secret War.
Yeah, and then Secret War 2.
And then Wars.
Secret Wars. Yeah. Okay. It's not even. It doesn't even make sense as a title because it's not a Secret Wars. It's an entire. It was an entire just a planet made up of other planets, which is what the original one did. I know
Right.
that. But then it was all about the battles. This was just about Doom bringing the planets together and what was going to happen from that. So why didn't they call it Secret Worlds or something like that instead of just reusing another title? It gets really confusing when you're trying to find old comics on Marvel Universe or stuff like that when all you know is some of the title and it's like, no, that's not what I want. And no. So we've got Infinity Wars now, which again is not really even a battle between anybody. I mean, if you're reading it as you're going, I don't care if I'm spoiling anything because you should know this already. The gathering of the gems took like less than a one issue, and suddenly it's all about the fallout of that. It's nothing like the original Infinity Wars or anything like that. Infinity War was the whole buildup of how the Magus was using everybody and manipulating to get what he wanted. In this one, it was just like Gamera got what she wanted and then fucked it up. How is that Infinity Wars? Just call it that. Gamera says, oops.
So when you're looking through your Marvel Unlimited app, did you read Identity Disc?
Identity Disc?
Which came out at the same time as Identity Crisis?
Well, that's DC. That wouldn't be in Marvel Universe.
Yeah, but Identity Disc is.
No, I did not see that. What the hell is Identity Disc?
There is a computer disc that had the secret identity of every Marvel superhero on it, and the villains are out to get it.
Oh. Okay. That didn't go well, did it?
Well, let's just say that they tried to piggyback off of Identity Crisis, and people were like, what? On its own, it's a decent little miniseries. Trying to piggyback off that and ride that hype, it was, no.
I was going to say, now, Identity Crisis didn't have that aspect to it, did it?
No.
Okay, because I know DC at one point did do that storyline.
Everybody's done that storyline.
Well, yeah. I just didn't remember if it was at the same time.
So, so my next one,
yeah,
is one that Joe beat into the ground.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't throw that back properly. I'm sorry.
The Bat Pole.
Okay.
Batman Damned #1 with
oh, that Bat Pole.
the little Batman.
Right.
Nudity.
Yeah.
And all I can
for no apparent reason.
And And all I can think is, why? 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 What does this get you? Yes, it got notoriety, but then they were like, well, we're not reprinting it. And if you buy it digitally or in the trade paperback, you're not going to, we're going to obscure it. It really felt like somebody in editorial just kind of screwed up.
Yeah.
And now the book's delayed, so I don't know. I think this third issue is not coming out till next year. And by then, nobody will care anymore. When Marvel went and did an adult series, it was Alias. And of course, I am going to throw some people under the bus. There were a lot of people in comics who now will go on and on about how Alias was sheer brilliance, who are like, Marvel doing adult characters in their universe is a terrible idea. I'm talking to you, Tony Isabella. Yeah, I remember when you complained and complained and complained about this, and then when Alias came out, and you were like, this is one of the best books Marvel's done in decades.
Was it his?
No.
Oh.
No, Brian Michael Bendis did Alias. Jessica Jones.
No, I know who it is. I actually know which comic it is,
Okay.
but I'm not good at the behind the scenes stuff.
But he was in Comic Buyer's Guide saying that Marvel shouldn't be doing adult books and using the Marvel characters in adult books. And, well, never mind the fact that DC did it through the 90s with Vertigo. So when DC does a new adult line, what is it? The Black Label, and they're moving a bunch of books over to Black Label that have already been printed, like Dark Knight.
Okay.
But we're gonna have Batman nude, dude. That's so 80s. 80s was when it was like, we can do grown-up comics. People can use swears and be naked. We're beyond that now. We've gone through Vertigo. We've gone through Max. Now you could just do an adult comic and have it, kind of be adult, not for kids, because of the story matter, not because here's Batman Schlong, everybody. It just strikes me as so goddamn infantile.
It kind of was. I mean, like I said, where it was like there was no point to it. It was just him undressing. Well, okay, so
look, if I want to watch something where there's gratuitous nudity, I've got all kinds of the movies that the guy did with the Playboy Playmates in the 80s that are all on the Andy Serkis, I think was his name. Not the guy who does motion capture, but he did a whole bunch of movies that were kind of action movies, but basically it's, okay, I'm going to cast Playmates, and whenever there's a scene, they're going to take a shower, they're going to change their swimsuits or whatever. That's what that was for. Or Cinemax, After Midnight. We're older than that now. We don't need that, and if we do need it, it's still there.
Yes.
It's like, there's nudity in this. Really, nudity? Have you heard of the internet?
It's like the oh god, what the hell is it? The Family Guy episode where Quagmire finds out about that.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I've just been checking out some of that internet porn. I'm gonna go back in and do some more of that. Yeah.
Besides, if I want to see Batman naked, that's what DeviantArt is for.
Yeah. Plus, at the same time, there's plenty of Pornhub stuff.
So
there's an entire thing of parody.
Right.
What?
Dan, what's next on your list?
What's next on my list? What is next on my list? Hold on a second. Let me pull this up. I had it. Where did I put it?
Wow, it is like working with Joe.
Yeah, I know. Sorry. I'm very happy with the way that they. Okay, I will start by saying I like the way that IDW ended came to the end of their story for Transformers. It was actually, I thought, well done. It was kind of neat. It wasn't just a battle, one big battle with Unicron. It actually had kind of a reasoning behind what they were doing, and it had more of a message than just blow the hell out of things, which was kind of cool. But what I don't like is the fact that now I'm sitting here in limbo because there hasn't been an official statement that if they're going to bring back Transformers as a new series or not. Supposedly, the president of IDW has hinted that he's looking forward to the new Transformer stuff, but there still hasn't been anything official. So I'm sitting here going, am I done with Transformers as a comic now because nobody knows what's going on? Or what? I haven't seen any solicitations yet for in the next year, and damn it, I want more Transformer comics. And this is a problem that I don't know if they're coming or not, and I don't like it. I don't like it a lot, because I don't care if it's more than meets the eye, it should be known.
And you did see that IDW got a new leader today.
Yeah, so I don't even know if that even the whole thing even counts.
So the guy in the past who said, yeah, we're looking forward to it, he's gone.
Yeah. So I'm even more in the dark. I need my mate. You won't get this, but Joe would if he was here, and he should know now that he should be here. I need the Matrix to light my darkest hour.
I like Keanu Reeves too.
Yeah. Oh, that's it. No. We are not. No. Keanu Reeves is not in the Transformer movie. Is not in the Transformers. No.
Well, he's probably a better actor than John Cena.
I don't know. I haven't seen Bumblebee yet. So.
Have you seen any of John Cena's other cinematic masterpieces?
No.
The Marine?
Or Cockblocked, I believe is.
It's just Blocked.
Oh, is it Blocked? Oh, okay.
With a picture of a rooster.
Yes.
12 rounds?
Nope.
Okay.
No, I don't think I've actually seen. I think I've seen him in something, but I don't remember what. It was something. He wasn't a big part of it.
I just want him to make more movies.
Yeah.
Because then he won't be in wrestling anymore.
No, I saw an interview that is something he is not going to quit.
He's been gone for months.
Has he?
He really only comes back now for the big events like WrestleMania and SummerSlam, and they put him in kind of celebrity type roles because, he can't train or set up feuds or anything, so it's more like, okay, we're going to have you in a tag team match, or we're going to have you in this nostalgia match. He's not messing things up on the regular shows.
Oh, okay.
That makes me happy.
Okay.
So you could keep him in your Transformers.
Well, okay. But I have to be. I don't know if I want him in my Transformers. I haven't seen him yet.
Oh, you will.
Well, yeah, I know I will. I've heard good things about it.
I'm actually kind of surprised you haven't found some way to get a sneak peek copy of it.
Well, no. If I'm going to see it, I'm going to actually pay for it, so that way they make more.
Well, I know you'll do that, but, really, it's like, is there a press screening anywhere?
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm not that important anymore.
The next thing that I have a grievance about, I'm not going to go into the whole Comicsgate thing because once they find out that we say something bad about them, they will descend on us like locusts.
Okay.
Or like rabid raccoons or something. But
oh yeah, bring them. I like raccoons.
But Ethan Van Scriber had a Kickstarter or an Indiegogo or please give me money for my comic, and the comic is late.
Mm-hmm.
But his YouTube videos of him complaining about comics and singing are still coming out on time. And his fans have said, I am not making this up, as God is my witness. Cory, you don't believe in God. Quiet! As Koresh is my witness, They will not pleasure themselves until this comic comes out.
That's what they've said?
Yes. Do I really need to go any further with just how batshit insane that is?
Makes me think of another Seinfeld episode, I'll tell you that.
That's all I can think of. It's
I'm out.
Do they greet each other with, "Are you still the king of your castle? Still the master of my domain?"
Oh, good Lord. Really? That is what they're... What kind of threat is that?
I don't know.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Because if anything, to me, that as a creator and and a bastard, well, you're the bastard, a sadist, that makes me go, I'm going to see how long this can last.
I would never deliver that comic if it were
Exactly.
I would just move on to my next project.
You know what? Good. I'm glad. This is something that you should not be doing.
It would be like Image United #3. It's never coming out. It's like All-Star Batman and Robin #9 by Frank Miller and Jim Lee. Never coming out.
Oh.
So, Dan?
Yeah.
Top that.
Top that. Oh, masturbation. How do I top that? Well, okay. I guess if we have to go in that route, what is this year? Just this year in 2018. What is this? My 4th or 5th guest star on here?
Oh, it's
on the
probably this year, yeah.
Yeah. So okay. So that means I'm in about 1/10 of the episodes. What the hell? Why am I not in more? I should be in more. Okay, I should be in just like all of them. I can just kneecap Joe because I've decided that I am no longer going to try to be this modest person. I'm going to try to take over everything. I want to be part of this all the time. And you know what? I'm not going to pleasure myself until I get on here.
I got a better idea.
Okay.
I'll let you come on for every strip of worldwide news you draw.
Oh, fuck. Damn it! I knew there would be a cost.
Now, if people want the book of worldwide news, the
Yes.
first 100 strips.
Yes.
With commentary.
With commentary.
And I don't even have a copy of it.
You don't?
No,
Why don't you have a copy of it?
because I sold them.
Oh. All right.
Hey, Kraken hookers don't buy themselves.
This is true.
But how can people get a copy of Worldwide News, the first 100 strips?
Well, at the moment,
With
They-
outdated Sarah Palin jokes.
with outdated Sarah Palin jokes. No, they never really go out of style.
You do know that the kids don't know who she is anymore.
Yeah, I know. And that's sad because, sometimes you need to remember that crazy in order to make sure it never occurs again. And unfortunately, we didn't pay attention to that in the last
No,
election.
we did not.
I swear, it's just, Palin actually just put on a Trump suit. But people, if they would like a copy, they can contact me at wolfiebad@gmail.com. That's Wolfie, B, the letter, bad, @gmail.com. And tell me that they're interested. They can go to wolfiebad.com and message me there. At the same time, I am in the middle of setting up a online shop, so you'll be able to go and order it, and all like you do on any other site. But I've been meaning to do that for years, so we'll see how long that takes.
Are we going to be able to get on Amazon?
Eventually, yes.
Good.
So, I'm still working on the program, the make a digital comic book program to make sure that it works properly. But I'm learning all this stuff by myself. So,
Let's hope it gets done before I'm dead.
Why? It'll be worth more then.
But I can't sign it then.
You didn't sign them this time.
Well, there is that.
Yeah. What's gonna happen when we have to do the con circuit?
The what?
The con circuit.
Nobody wants to see me.
No, but they want to hear you. We can put you in a little booth.
Or you could just put up a Bluetooth speaker.
Oh.
And
Actually, that's not a bad idea. I like that idea.
You play a recording of me. Maybe it'll drown out the people who play that shitty music and dance at conventions.
Actually, I like that idea. If at one of the conventions that I go to, I almost want to do that. If I can get a time where you will be available and we can do a live version, but you're not actually there.
That would be amazing. Just say Cory Strode is appearing, and then you didn't say he was appearing here.
Right. But we can listen to him and he will actually answer your questions. I'm going to have to talk. I've got a couple places that I'm going next year that I want to now talk to them about this.
Don't tell Joe. Joe can't know about it until it happens.
Okay.
But Cory, he'll hear it on the show. He never listens to this show.
Cory, what's your next your next grievance?
Well, I'm gonna. This is split in two.
Oh.
Because there are two different grievances about it. But the first is DC solicited a omnibus, a 2-volume omnibus that would have reprinted all 26 issues of Detective Comics before Batman was in the book. It was called Before Batman. It was $150, and before you say, wow, that's a lot, it's 2 volumes, and they were both about 1,000 pages. Meanwhile, the Final Crisis book was $150, and that's 1,400 pages. So it's, comparable.
Yeah.
But they solicited it, and if you buy online or from certain shops, you have to pay in advance.
Okay.
And they canceled it. So yes, I got a refund. They haven't released a reason why they canceled it.
Well, that sucks.
And so a lot of people are saying it's because those early stories were unbelievably racist.
Okay.
But they knew that because the first issue of Detective Comics has a big Fu Manchu on the cover and talks about the Yellow Peril. So one would hope they at least looked through the stuff before they said, let's put this in a big, thick volume and sell it to people for the 80th anniversary of Batman.
I just like the concept of somebody not knowing that and doing the whole solicitation. It's like, yeah, we're going to put this out. We're going to do this. This is going to be awesome. All right, let's put it in the books and everything like that. And what's on the first cover?
Oh, what's this ad say? Slap a Jap? I wonder. Do you think people might get a little offended by that?
No.
But let's face it, Golden Age comics, pop culture at the time, really offensive. I've talked in the past about the first Young Allies, which was kind of it was Bucky from Captain America and a bunch of other kid characters. It was one of the Kid Gangs things that were really big. Even in movies, you had the Dead End Kids and the Little Rascals and all that. Mm-hmm. But in the Young Allies, one of the black character, his power was that he could eat a watermelon faster than anybody else in the U.S.
You're kidding.
Nope.
Wow.
And remember the old Aunt Jemima ads from the 30s and 40s?
No.
This character makes Aunt Jemima and Uncle Ben from back then look racially sensitive.
Wow.
And it's like with the Warner Brothers cartoons from the 30s and 40s. You put a disclaimer saying this was what it was, this is a product of its time. We're more racially sensitive now. We don't deal in these stereotypes, blah, blah,
Yeah.
And let's face it, it's not like, some 14-year-old kid's going to go in and go, I think I want that before Batman trade paperback. I mean,
Yeah.
big hardcover set for $150. The only people who are going to buy it are the historic people, who are into the history of comics. And one would hope we're not buying it looking for racist stuff. It's more like, okay, the racist stuff is in there because that was part of it at the time, but we look beyond that.
Yeah.
It's the historical document. But that's one story of why it was canceled. The other story is that the orders came in and they went, wow, nobody wants this. So whatever story it is, I wish DC would have told us.
Yeah.
Instead of it's canceled. Were you going to solicit it at another time? We don't know.
Don't ask us questions about the future.
Now, contrast that with the Impulse Omnibus, which they also canceled. They told us why.
Okay. Why?
And there are two things about that kind of chap my ass. The first one is they said that we don't have, we would have to scan the old comics, and when we do that and print them on the really nice paper and everything for an omnibus, it doesn't look as good, so instead we're going to do true trade paperbacks.
Okay.
This comic is only 20 years old, and you don't have the digital film for it. Everything was being, they would send the digital film to the printers, even at that time. They didn't keep it. This is not some obscure book from the 40s. This was a book that was in the top 20 of sales in the 90s. And they're like, yeah, we don't have the files. We got to just buy the old comics and scan the fuckers. What are you doing with this stuff? Why aren't you taking care of it? Even in the 90s, stuff was getting reprinted over and over and over. Hardcovers, trade paperbacks, reprint. It's like, that would be like if they were going to reprint Sandman and went, well, we don't have the files anymore, so we got to go down to the comic shop, rip up a comic, put it on the old copy machine, scan them pages.
Okay, but even I will admit that the art from the first few books kind of already looked that way. So,
well, back then the printing technique was still pretty terrible. They were still using what was known as a flexographic.
Yeah.
Which they said, oh, this is a great. This is so much better than it used to be. It wasn't. It was terrible. The plates were plastic. And they wore down over time much faster than the metal plates that they used up until like the mid 80s.
Yeah.
If you ever want to see a really shitty comic, look at the first issue of Crisis on Infinite Earths. It was the first one where they used the flexographic press, and unless it's the first couple thousand copies, the colors are off, so that by the copy I got, when they reveal the monitor, remember he had the small strips of hair on his head?
Yeah.
They were blue, and the blue was kind of halfway across, moved halfway across his head. So it's like, oh, here's this drawing of what the hair should be, and then there's the color for where the hair should be, and then the drawing of the hair, and the color of the hair, and so...
That's the way I feel my actual head is.
But yeah, why didn't you keep your film? It's not
Again,
that hard.
Thinking ahead.
Yes.
This is not what they do. Think of the Clone Saga again.
Yeah, but they've been able to put out omnibuses of that goddamn thing.
Cory, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Calm. Do your breathing.
No.
Yeah.
For the airing of the grievances. This is the one time a year where I get to be old Cory. Cory
You're to be
Mohr.
old, Cory. Cory, you are old, Cory.
No. I mean the Cory from the 90s who hated everything, whose nickname wasn't Uncle Rat Bastard. My nickname at the comic shop until like 99, 2000 was
Yeah.
the most miserable son of a bitch in comics.
Oh, and you worked for Joe. That's saying a lot.
Yes.
Oh, wow. I'm trying to picture this now.
You haven't known me when I was when at my job they actually made a sign and put it on my cubicle that said Mr. Bad Example.
Oh. Wow. I'm learning something new today.
Oh.
Well, welcome back.
So Dan, what's
Yeah?
next on your list?
What's next on my list? You know what I really hate? I really hate it when commercials will just interrupt what I'm saying. When I'm just in the middle of it.
The Solitaire Rose Podcast Network has ads, and our ads are, first, for the best web host in the whole known universe, go to dreamhost.com. Dreamhost.com is the best, bar none, web host in the whole known universe, and we have been using it since 1999, so we're old. But also, if you need a web host, just head on over and use the code KRAYZ and get $20 off your first year. And when you're at work or you're at home, do you really want to eat those unhealthy snacks? Another bag of chips from the vending machine? No, you want to go over to Graze.com and get healthy snacks sent to you automatically with a subscription, or you can order whatever snacks you like. Just go to Graze.com. Your first and fifth box are free if you use the code CORYS3R5P. That's CORYS3R5P. Free snacks, healthy snacks, and the best way to keep away from the vending machine. If you would like to advertise on Crazy Comics and Stories or any of the other podcasts, you can just send an email to solitairerosenetwork@gmail.com, subject advertising. Thanks.
What were you saying?
Screw it. What's your next one?
Remember how Marvel did their, after the Secret Wars, they did the legacy numbering?
Yeah.
And I was one of the people who's pretty happy about that. I liked the legacy numbering. And they actually would put out things in the comics saying where they got the number from. Okay, there were this many in the first volume, and the second volume, and the third volume, and now this is how many issues of the Avengers, or this or the other that we published. And then sales went in the fucking toilet because they weren't having a new number one every year. And all the people who said, "Oh, I don't like that they have a new number one every year," didn't buy it when they went. So it's like, oh, I guess you people want number ones. Do number one, sales are going back up.
Mm-hmm.
But they also have the legacy numbering underneath. Marvel is already screwing it up.
Really?
Let's take a look at the Avengers, shall we? The Avengers did the legacy numbering leading up to when they did the weekly thing, the Surrender.
No Surrender, up to 700, yeah.
Well, no, it ended like in 690 something.
Yeah, sorry.
And then we got a new Avengers number one, and then like Avengers number 7 or 8, I forget which one, was Avengers number 700. Triple size issue.
Yeah.
Cool. And then, okay, the Avengers is going to keep going. Well, now they're going to do another one of those weekly things, like No Surrender.
Yeah.
It gets the legacy numbering, not the regular Avengers comic.
Oh. Okay. So is it separate, or is it?
The legacy numbering is going to go into that new miniseries. That's another 12-issue weekly miniseries. The regular Avengers just getting the new numbers. You haven't even been doing it a year and you're screwing it up.
Oh, man.
I don't understand why this is hard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's simple. 3-year-olds know it. Why are you making me crazy by saying, well, Avengers number 7 is issue 700, and issue number 8 is 701, and issue 1 of Avengers miniseries is 703. Well, what's Avengers number 9? We don't fucking know. but it's the Avengers book. And shut up, sit down and shut up. Or with Venom, it's issue 300, and then the next one, it's a new number 1.
Yeah.
Where's the legacy number? It's somewhere in the tiny print. Leave me alone. But the Venom was always a series of miniseries. I know.
Yeah.
Math.
That was the one that I never quite got when they were doing that. The legacy number of 300, Venom 300. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's like, okay, whatever, fine. Do they count the Spider-Man episodes that just are big Venom stories too?
I don't know. Just pick a lane and stay in it, okay?
Yeah.
It's not even math at this point. You've started the numbers, just put them underneath and just go with it. And don't, here's this mini series. Well, that's where the real numbering is, and the regular series. No, stop it, please.
Yeah.
Please stop. I don't want to be sitting in the bath, in the shower, rocking back and forth with a SOS pad and a can of Bon Ami, just scrubbing myself, going, I'm not clean. I'm not clean. I'm not clean.
Cory, what happened? I read 701 and it was really 703.
What? No, I didn't. I don't want to do that in the shower because shower is where I do my drinking.
That's kind of gross.
You've never heard of a shower beer?
No.
You need to get out more.
This isn't like a golden shower, is it?
No. There's shower beer.
Okay.
Look it up on the internet. It's a thing.
No. Whenever anybody tells me to look it up on the internet, bad things happen.
No. I tell you not to look things up, and you do. I have told you for years, do not look up Lemon Party. And every time, you look it up.
Lemon Party? What's that? Hold on a minute.
Do not Google that.
Oh my God!
Told you not to Google it.
Mm.
So, Dan, next on your list?
Next on my list. Great, now I got lost in the Lemon Party. I actually had exactly what I was going to do, too.
You do realize I'm cutting that line out and will be using it all the time. Dan, what do you think? I got lost in the Lemon Party. Matter of fact, I'm going to be tweeting that out. It's
Great.
And says he's lost in the Lemon Party.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so this is a grievance I actually think I mention every year because it usually tends to happen to me every year and it pisses me the fuck off. Whenever
we don't need a raccoon to get that explicit tag.
Yeah, that's true. I'll just swear up and down. I don't care. Anyway, so it's when I have like a pull bin at a comic store, okay, and I'm getting a series, a mini series, like for instance Infinity Wars or something like or that. Every single time they miss one. Every single time. I will sit there and I'll go, okay, wait a minute. I have issues 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6. Where's 5? Well, we would have pulled it for you. I'm like, you didn't pull it for me. I picked it up. It's like, okay, well, fine. Well, let's go and get it. No, they don't have any left.
Yeah, they're
So I'm
sold out
always
of
missing
masks.
one. Yeah, I'm always missing one. And like this year with the Infinity Wars, it was during Infinity Countdown. I'm like, okay, I want all the I want the Infinity Countdown. I want everything that's connected to it, and I want the Infinity Wars when it comes out. What do they forget to pull? Infinity Wars Prime. Probably the comic that actually made the most for me when I finally got it, because of course that's when Gamera actually kills off Thanos. So it's like, that's kind of cool to me. Why the fuck did you not pull that? Again, I said everything connected to it. Every single week these past few weeks, I've had to go in and try to search and find the stuff that they didn't pull that was part of it, but isn't part of the main story.
And I know which shop this is too.
Yeah, I bet you do. So, now again, I thought like there's a Sleepwalker story that's coming out with it. I now have 2 and 3. I don't have 1. Can I find one? Oh fuck no! In the countdown, there was a Darkhawk one. Darkhawk, when it was first out, was one of my favorite characters. I say one of, huh?
You're the one.
Yeah, I'm the one. So they had a story with the Infinity Countdown. I've got 1, 2, and 3, not 4, so I don't even know how the fuck the story ends. And it's not on Unlimited yet, and I can't find it anywhere. This particular run has been worse than I have ever had in this particular store, because at least before it was only 1 issue that I'm missing. Now it's like every single small run I'm missing an issue. And I don't want to wait for the omnibus to come out, but I do. I don't.
You'll buy it.
I know.
They gotcha.
Yeah, I know. God damn it. Infinity anything, and I'd pretty much buy it, even the one I absolutely hated. Infinity! It's an Infinity Gauntlet story. It has Thanos, it has this. Well, for half of it, the rest of it is outer space fighting, which had nothing to do with the main plot. What the fuck? Okay. Cory? Do you have anything else?
I have one that is not a comic book thing. And
what?
It just happened today.
What happened?
So I have it used to be a Super America near my house. Now it's a Speedway because, I don't know, corporate stuff.
Yeah.
And they have burritos, breakfast burritos there, which, okay, they're microwave burritos.
Yeah.
Dan?
Yeah? Wait, what did you do? Hey.
Some things should not.
Let's not get offensive.
Some things shouldn't be burritos. I don't mind, like the apple pie burrito, where they just take apple pie filling and some cheese and they put it in a tortilla. I'm okay with that. Pizza burrito, where they take the marinara sauce and other pizza stuff and they put it in a tortilla. I'm okay with that. They have crossed the line.
Have they?
Biscuits and gravy tortillas. Biscuits and gravy burritos.
Wait, what?
Biscuits and gravy burritos.
Did they make the tortilla out of the...
No. They took biscuits, shredded them up, covered them in sausage gravy, wrapped it in a tortilla, and put it under the little heat lamp.
Wait. And there's half of the country that's pissed off at the idea of Mexicans coming into the country and we're doing that to our own food?
This is an abomination upon the earth and must not be allowed to stand.
Wait.
We have pushed the burrito too far. It's time to reel it back, kids.
I'm having a real hard time parsing this.
You're having...
To the point... I don't believe you.
Stop at Speedway tomorrow. If it's not in their little heater thing, go to where they keep the sandwiches that they grab, put in the microwave, and then put up on that shelf, and you'll see the biscuit and gravy burrito for a limited time only, because eventually the people who eat it will explode and die.
I don't know if I want to go check, because one, I'm not sure I want to know that it's true, and two, I'm afraid I'll try it.
Now, Joe and I, we don't do the segment as much as we used to, because he tends to not, he tends to veto it. But the American foods, this may be the most American food in history.
All right, I'll tell you what, I will try it.
And you know why it's the most American food? Not just because it's biscuits and gravy. Not just because it's biscuits and gravy wrapped in a tortilla. Not just because it's biscuits and gravy wrapped in a tortilla that you microwave. It's that it's only available at gas stations
for a limited time.
Time only.
All right. I will try this, and I will come back on another episode and tell you what happened. If my stomach doesn't explode and take me out.
If word gets out about this, Taco Bell will have 20 different variations of it.
I'm surprised they don't already. I mean, remember, they have the Doritos tortilla, which it's amazing.
Don't they have 3 Doritos burritos, tacos now?
Yes, the nacho cheese, the Cool Ranch, and the extra spicy.
Yeah, the blazing hot. How long until they get roulette Doritos tacos?
Oh, good God, I don't even want to think about that.
You know what the roulette
Yeah.
Doritos.
But now my question is, is it that each shell will be possibly different, or each bite of said shell may be different?
How long until there's the taco flavored Doritos Dorito burrito?
Ooh, say that 10 times fast.
and really all they would need to do is take a taco flavored Dorito, crunch them up in there, put on some cheese, and go, well, here you go. Well, there's no meat or anything, but it's taco flavored.
I want a taco shell taco.
You're a Taco Bell. You're stoned. What do you care?
True enough.
So, Dan, as we near the end,
yes,
what is the last thing that you have a grievance about?
You know, I think the biggest grievance I have is that I have bought over the year an amazing Infinity Gauntlet that was made by somebody. It is costume. It's the foam stuff that most people make their armor out of these days. Beautifully put together. It flexes. You can actually move your hand in it. You can pick stuff up, which is great. But damn it, I want a metal one that actually works. There are too many stupid people. People look at me and say, no, we don't want you to have that because you'll snap and get rid of half of the universe. That's true, I will. But you know what? I won't be as discerning. I am going to take out the people I want to take out. None of this random shit. No, that person that pissed me off 15 years ago, bye. That person that just said, just said that they didn't want to do their job because they thought it was too hard when all they had to do was type a damn S, die. I want to take out I want to take out more than half of the population of the universe because they are so stupid. So I want a working one. And I don't know how to do it because I don't know where to find the gems. Because, it's probably fictional. But that's not the point. I can lose my mind enough to think they're real. And hence, I need them to appear. So I can just snap and get rid of these people that have no fucking idea what common sense is. Cory? Surprisingly enough, you would probably be safe.
Hold on. I need to cross out. Dan didn't draw enough worldwide news this year. Cross that out. The last thing I have a grievance toward.
Yeah. Other than the fact that I have no time to draw. Yes, go on.
I didn't say that. It's not on my list.
It's not on your list. Let me tell you. It's like the opposite of a D&D character. No, I've got that skill. Let me underline it.
I've had it with the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
I don't care what Hall of Fame it is. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the WWE Hall of Fame, the Radio Hall of Fame, the whatever Hall of Fame. I don't care.
Okay.
And the people who argue about it need to stop because no one cares. Okay? The WWE Hall of Fame, you know what that is? That's where every year they pick out a few people and they give an award to them, and then it's never heard from again. There's no building. No one cares. The so-called Comic Book Hall of Fame, there have been 7 or 8 of those, and all of them have vanished. The Comic Buyer's Guide Hall of Fame, the Wizard Magazine Hall of Fame, the Kirby Awards Hall of Fame, the Ignatz Award Hall, all these Hall of Fames, because there's not a physical building, no one cares. They're gone. No one knows who's in the Amazing Heroes Hall of Fame that was people argued about endlessly in the 80s.
I didn't even know it existed.
Most don't. Because when the magazine goes under, it's gone.
Yeah, okay.
For all of these Hall of Fames, I'm going to give you the Hall of Fame, okay? Go to your collection, okay? Do you see those CDs and those MP3s you have? There's your Music Hall of Fame, because that's the shit you like. Go to your comic book collection. What do you have in hardcover? There's your Hall of Fame, because that's the shit you like. The WWE Hall of Fame. Look at your DVDs, because the wrestling fans are so behind the times. They're still buying DVDs, and they'd probably buy 8 tracks if they still had them. But who's got... Oh, look, I got a Ric Flair DVD set, and a Shawn Michaels DVD set, and a Rock Hall of and a rock set, and oh my God, they've put out 7 rock sets, and there's your Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame is the shit you're willing to pay money for.
This is
Who's in
true.
the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? I don't care. You know who created the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Rolling Stone Magazine. You know the last time I read Rolling Stone Magazine? 1982. Because I picked it up and I went, wow, this is some really pretentious shit that I don't agree with. And I didn't read it.
Wow. I'm surprised. You usually read all the stuff you don't agree with.
I read a lot of pretentious shit.
You write a lot of it, too.
Putting Dan back on the list. Drawing worldwide. But every year there's an argument when, like, for 4 months leading up to Hall of Fame announcements. And I could not give less of a shit about any of them. Oh, well, how dare they put this band in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but not this band? Next year you won't care.
Nope.
They could put Sir Mix-a-Lot in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and a week after they have the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame ceremony, no one will care.
Nope.
And you will either still sing Baby Got Back or not, but him being in the Hall of Fame will not affect that at all. How could Coco Beware be in the WWE Hall of Fame? Because he wrestled and he had a bird. And that was enough.
Okay.
So he is now considered the equal of Hulk Hogan because they're both in the Hall of Fame. Actually, I like Coco Beware better because he's not a racist piece of shit. I don't care about your Hall of Fame. Most of the musicians that I know don't care about getting into the Hall of Fame. They care about, when is this fucking club owner going to pay me so that I can afford to get the van fixed so I could go to the next gig.
Yes.
Most of the cartoonists I know don't care about the Hall of Fame. It's when is my check coming?
Yes.
Most, let's say the Minnesota Comic Book Convention had a Hall of Fame. No one would care except the person who got the award that year.
Yes.
So why not just give people an award? Say, thank you. We like your shit. Thank you. You're done.
Wait, they don't even want an award. They just want, like a $5 bill.
There you go.
Yeah.
Rather than put them in a Hall of Fame, buy their work.
Exactly. I can get behind that.
But it's starting in wrestling. Oh, who's going to be in the WWE Hall of Fame? I don't care. I do not care. Why isn't Tommy Dreamer in the WWE Hall of Fame? I don't know. Maybe Vince McMahon doesn't like that he put on some weight. Maybe he hates his goatee. I don't care. When Tommy Dreamer comes to town, I will pay money and I will go see him. It's good enough for me. When Hulk Hogan comes to town, I will go out of my way not to make sure that I don't spend any money on anything that will go to him. It's fine. So you take your Hall of Fame, and there's only one that I know of, and that's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and I'm not going to Cleveland anyway.
Okay.
And now that we're done with the grievances, it's time for the feats of strength. Dan, you must pin me before Festivus is over. Wait.
I'm going to tag out and have Wolfie come in for that.
Instead, Dan, what you got coming up over the next year or so?
What do I have got? Well, let's see. I have a couple things that I will be at.
A lemon party?
No. Oh, wait, I bet that's going to be changed there. I'm sorry, I get distracted by the lemon party. Do you need me to say it multiple different ways so you can put it in different things?
Oh, no, it doesn't matter.
I got distracted by the lemon party. I got distracted by the lemon party.
You just want to be in every episode no matter what, right?
Yes, yeah, I don't care if it's pre-recorded. I'm like Reginald, that's the part of Reginald that's, yeah. I'm going to be at a couple different places. Surprisingly enough, I just found out that I'm not going to be at SpringCon.
Oh!
Because I will be out of town.
Well, I guess I'm not appearing via speaker there either.
No. But I will, let's see, I am a guest of honor at Anime Iowa again this year. Though Wolfie got top billing in that particular one. It was great. I actually love it when people do that, but when they asked me back, which I guess is kind of neat because it's 2 years in a row and that's unusual for this particular con. But they're like, yeah, we'd love to have you back, but can we announce Wolfie first? Like, yeah. So Wolfie was announced, then other people were announced, and then finally they announced I'd be there too. So that'll be in mid-July. I'll be there. I'll most likely be back at Icon next year in October. It might be the first week in November next year. So almost a year off, but I should be there again. But that's just me being there. Otherwise, I have prospects, but nothing set in stone quite yet. So, but hopefully I'll get more. Usually I get more of a schedule starting in July, in January. Yeah, I'm really behind the times. I don't get my spring schedule until after it's over because they don't actually want me there, but they want to.
They want to advertise you, but only afterward. Well,
right. Dan
was going to be here.
Right. But we stopped that. That's why everybody showed up.
No. That's why people show up at conventions. I retired.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, yeah. So those are the few things that I've got planned so far where I'll actually be in person, doing a lot of stuff with Wolfie. Most of the times that I'm at the conventions, I try to get in as many panels and stuff that I can, in order because my whole goal when I go to conventions is I want to entertain. So I like to put on the show, and I've got Wolfie to do, helping with that. I'll do some of my own stuff, obviously, because nobody buys the art, so who cares? But as always, around this time of year, I say I'm hoping that I will actually get more time to draw next year. But that never seems to happen. However, well, no, that's not true. I usually get one or two out. So yeah, that's my year. How do you have anything? Any new projects coming out?
I think I have enough projects, don't I?
Yes, I think you do, but that never stops you.
Well, we've got all the podcasts that are listed here. The Solitaire Rose Radio Network has all sorts of podcasts. We've got Scrabbling Across the West with Dave Caffell and his lovely bride, Stephanie. They travel across the country playing musical gigs, and at night they sit down to play Scrabble and talk about their day at scrabbling.solitairerose.com. There's Novelcast over at novels.solitairerose.com, where I take the novels that I've written and turn them into audio podcasts. Currently, we are doing a novel called Do the Job, which is a murder mystery set in the world of 1980s professional wrestling. Then, over at badadvice.solitairerose.com, me, Cory Strode, and Wolfie B. Bad, along with Dan Mohr, give bad advice to people who send in questions. That's bad advice over at badadvice.solitairerose.com. The Solitaire Rose Radio Network is growing. Be there! You think NBC will get mad I used that?
Okay.
And with the Fantastic Forecast, I kind of decided that going along with that, I'm also on my own going to be doing the same thing with the Human Torch stories that were in Strange Tales.
Oh, cool.
So they are very different from the Fantastic Four stories in that they were very, very clearly aimed at kids. The whole Marvel Universe thing was not in place yet because in the Human Torch stories, he's got a secret identity.
Interesting.
In that, he's trying to keep people from knowing that Johnny Storm is the Human Torch.
Meanwhile, in the other comic, everybody knows.
Yeah, meanwhile in the Fantastic Four, everybody knows their identity is not a big deal.
Right.
So,
gotta love that continuity.
And also, many of the villains that first showed up in Marvel Comics showed up there, including the Trapster, who was initially called Paste Pot Pete.
Yeah, I remember that.
It's where Captain America first came back. What?
Ooh.
The Beatles showed up in that comic. So, lots of stuff to talk about.
That's where, also in that comic where he discovered Namor as a vagrant, isn't it?
No, that was in the Fantastic Four, where he...
Oh!
That was Fantastic Four issue number 4, which we covered in Fantastic Forecast.
Oh, okay.
And Novelcast is firing up again. I know I haven't recorded one since May, but by this time this airs, at least 2 episodes will have dropped. I'm planning on doing 2 episodes for the end of December to kind of get back into things. Dan and I are going to be doing Bad Advice, hopefully a little more often, because we've done 12 episodes in a year and a half, 2 years?
Something like that.
Yeah, so we're going to try and do that more often. And Crazy Comics and Stories is going to hit
Really?
Going to hit episode 400.
Ooh.
And we have no idea what to do for it.
When about? Or when about?
Probably a March or April.
Oh, wow. Yeah. What do you do for 400?
I don't know.
I mean, it seems important, but at the same time, it's not like it's 500.
Right.
Yeah. So, you can't do something too special because you need that for 500.
Yeah, by 500, I think we're gonna have to do like TV stunt things, like a new character. Cousin Oliver will be joining the podcast. That's what we'll do for episode 400. Cousin Oliver will join the podcast.
Wow, that sounds like a great thing.
I'm still trying to learn how to make a ebook. So the books that have been done for the novel cast are. I'm still trying to figure out how to do ebooks. Hopefully, I will have some time off next year because I'm supposed to have weekends off when the new schedule hits
There you go.
kind of do that stuff.
Ooh.
So there's stuff going on, and we did an entire episode of Freaking, right?
Yeah, as far as I know.
So it's time for geeking. Dan,
Yes.
what are you geeking on?
What am I geeking on? I was thinking about this, and I was trying to figure out what I wanted to say that I was geeking about. And in the spirit of everything, honestly, something that I am really geeking on is just the fact that I have you as a friend, Cory.
Oh, God.
I know. I'm going to get sappy here for a second, but the thing is, you are truly
A dork.
an individual. But honestly, it is to me, to have you as a friend is very special to me. You and I don't get together as much as I would like, but
that lemon party way too much, aren't you?
yeah, I'm a little screwed up at the moment in the head, so you'll have to just forgive that. It's your fault. That's all I'm saying.
I told you not to Google lemon party.
Yeah.
Nobody listens.
No, but yes, I'm very glad to have you in my life, and I wanted to put that out there. Also, what else am I geeking on? I'm geeking on the fact that they dropped the trailer for the Avengers, even though nothing was revealed. Duh. Yeah, I'm geeking. Oh, I don't have it yet, but I really want the new Lego villains game. That looks so funny. And they got Mark Hamill to do the voice of the Joker again. So that I am looking forward to eventually playing. There's a bunch of little things, just awesome things that are going on, and I'm having a good time.
Oh, good.
Yeah. How about yourself, Cory? What are you geeking on?
Well, the first thing I am geeking on is by the time this episode drops, I will have seen the Spider-Gwen movie. No, it's not called Spider-Gwen. It's called Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. It's a Spider-Gwen movie. And that's all that matters.
That's all that matters?
Yes, it's going to be a Spider-Gwen movie.
Spider Noir isn't good enough?
No, I love Spider-Gwen.
Actually, you know what? I disagree with you. It's a Spider-Ham movie. That is what I'm looking forward to in that movie.
Are you ready for the really weird part of it, Joe? Joe.
God damn it!
Hey, I've done 300 and some episodes with him.
I don't care!
I actually have the first appearance of Spider-Ham.
Oh, yeah? Which one was that?
Marvel Tales #1.
Oh,
So
all right.
I'm going to hit the eBays to see how much it is worth because it will probably frighten me. That was one of those where it's like you bought it and you went, oh, why did I do this? I expected it to be much funnier than it was.
Okay.
And it wasn't.
I actually have a small collection of this spectacular Spider-Ham.
Okay, here we go. Marvel Tales, Tails #1. The graded 9.8, $594.95.
You're rich, Cory! You're rich!
Well, mine's not graded.
Oh.
Let's see how much they are. They're going for about $50 ungraded.
Yeah, Still not bad.
Yeah. Here you go. Here's one for $8.99. Here's one for $26. Here's one for $129.95. Good luck, buddy.
Yeah, really.
When the one right next to it is $8.99, I think they're going to take the $8.99 version first.
I really hope so.
So there's that. I'm very excited. The movie looks really good. Marvel's actually been knocking it out of the park on the movie front. And even though some people said Venom's just a big stupid action movie. Yeah,
Yeah? What movie were they expecting?
it's Venom. What do you want? They're not all going to be brilliant. This was go into the theater, watch Venom beat people up for 2 hours. I'm okay with that.
That's pretty much what I was expecting.
Yeah. Let's see. I got a hardcover that I ordered a while back. It took longer than it should. It is Fantastic Four, Behold Galactus.
Oh.
This book is the same format as the large Monsters Unleashed. So it's about 2.5 feet tall. I'm not joking.
2.5 feet tall?
Yes.
Oh my god. Okay.
And so it's that big. It's the first Galactus trilogy. It's the second 4-part Galactus story that was done in the Fantastic Four. It's the Galactus story done by John Buscema in the early 70s, the 4-part that introduced Galadriel the Airwalker. I know you're all going, who?
I actually know who you're talking about.
But it's John Buscema, inked by Joe Sinnott, and then it's got the John Byrne Galactus story where Galactus nearly dies, Reed Richards saves him, and goes on trial for it.
Okay.
It is gorgeous.
I bet.
You've got all this beautiful Kirby art, actually bigger than it was originally drawn.
Wow.
You put this on your lap, and it's like, I don't see my lap anymore. And it's probably the best example of the art by these guys. It's John Byrne's art when John Byrne actually gave a damn about his art. It's Kirby at his peak. I mean, come on, that's the original Galactus trilogy where Joe Sinnott and he were just making beauty on the page. And then the next story is actually the first first superhero comic book story I read, where the Silver Surfer, to escape Galactus, because he can't leave the Earth, but he still wants to soar the spaceways, shrinks down into the microverse.
Yeah.
And Galactus shows up on Earth and says, "I'm hungry, and if you don't get me the Silver Surfer to find me a planet to eat, I'm eating Earth. But you promised. I don't care." I think the entire history of Galactus is, wait, you promised not to eat Earth. I don't care. Of course, my favorite of those they didn't reprint, and I think it's because the first 4 parts were by George Perez, and the last part was obviously drawn by John Buscema over a weekend when George Perez blew the deadline. But Galactus shows up on Counter-Earth. And they go, wait, you can't eat Counter-Earth. Why not? I promised not to eat Earth. Counter-Earth. I haven't promised a damn thing about it.
Nice.
And tonight will be the Festivus party that my friend Tommy always throws, and I enjoy going to that. It's one of the few social occasions I actually go to because I don't like social occasions. I don't like people. And
it's the easiest way to get a social disease.
That's why I don't go to ice cream socials, because then you get an ice cream social disease, and those are cold.
Yeah.
And last thing I'm geeking on, there is a series that I mentioned a while back, and it's a bit of a long story why I started watching it. Dan, you know who the Brian Michael Bendis is, right?
Yeah.
Okay, one of the things he did in his hundreds and hundreds of interviews, that he said, watch TV shows and movies where the writer knows dialogue. And he mentioned a few, and one of them was the Gilmore Girls. And I, being a red-blooded American male with testosterone in his body, was like, no way in the world I'm going to watch the Gilmore Girls. No way. I mean, come on, the name. And then I watched an episode, and the dialogue was brilliant.
Yes.
And it was funny, and it was smart, and the characters spoke really, really fast because they had a lot of dialogue to get through, and I fell in love with the scripting of Amy Sherman Palomino. And she did, I think, the first 6 seasons and did not do the final season. And then she did a series on ABC Family called Bunheads, which I watched because she wrote it, even though it's like, this is all about a bunch of teenage girls learning ballet.
Okay.
And it's Amy Sherman Palladino, so it's very well written. But every so often I would go, I'm liking a show about teenage girls learning ballet. What is wrong with me?
You're a dirty old man.
Not because they weren't that, they were TV, they were, ABC Family attractive. So they were the kind of teenage girls that teenage girls like.
Okay.
In other words, utterly non-threatening.
Right.
And now she's doing a series called The Magnificent Mrs. Maisel on Amazon.
Oh, I did not know it was the same person.
Yes. And they dropped the first season last year, and it won all kinds of awards. What the premise is it's the late 1950s. This woman is married to a guy who wants to be a stand-up comic, and he goes to to do his stand-up, and he's basically just doing Bob Newhart routines. So he's booed out of the building for stealing other people's material. And when she finds out that her husband's having an affair, she goes to that club and gets up on stage and talks about it. And decides, after the reaction she gets, that she's going to be a stand-up comedian. So it is about her in the late 50s becoming a stand-up comedian. And it's very smart, and it's very observant, and it's almost, I love the series Mad Men because of the observation of the late 50s and 60s. This is doing the same thing from a completely different viewpoint.
Oh, okay.
Kind of from the woman's point of view, and Mad Men was about the white Anglo-Saxon male in charge of things. This is more about New York Jewish culture in the late 50s, which, quite honestly, I know nothing about. And it's about stand-up comedy, which I know a lot about. But
okay.
Again, it's smart dialogue, it's funny, the characters are all smart and very well written. And I was like, okay, last year I watched the first episode, and then I watched all 10 episodes in 2 days. And I'm not doing that this year, because when I do that, then I spend a year going, when is it coming out? So it's like, I'll watch one a week. Well, the weekend we were recording this, I had the weekend off.
Yeah.
Sunday night at 11:10, I had finally finished the 10th episode of the season.
You have amazing self-control, Cory.
I have no self-control, which is why I have so many omnibuses. But I want to recommend to anybody who has Amazon Prime, if you want to sample the show, the first episode is good, but if you want to see sheer brilliance, the best piece of fiction of this decade is episode 7 of the second season.
Okay.
It is about art. It is about the cost of creativity. It is about family. It is about the chaos and love of family. But it's probably the best thing I have seen in a decade that really gets to the heart of art and the creation of art. Not just art from, painting, but art of comedy and the art of writing and all art. That 60 minutes, sheer brilliance, and I cannot recommend it enough.
Yeah. All right.
Believe it or not, kids, you have been listening to us give our grievances for an hour and a half.
Oh. Well, we went over time.
And, as we say every week, the comic we like the least, we still like better than the comic that you like the most. Dan?
Yes? Hit my music!